David, a couple price target increases on Nvidia, which we're going to get next week. Opco goes to 175. Then you got this report, David, I know you'd like this stuff, in the Journal, that they're going to bring some chips tailored to humanoid robots in the first half of next year.
Yeah, I'm continued to be focused, and I think a lot of people are, Jim. You completely dismissed it yesterday, and that may be the right move, but on where these large language models may not be advancing as quickly as their engineers may have anticipated. Not sure what you're doing there with your phone there, Jim.
Oh, I'm looking at I'm reading the Indonesia tech leaders. Jensen gave a great speech in Nvidia in Indonesia last night. David, you have to read. The Indonesian thing was a huge hit, and they're talking about the need to spend a fortune in Indonesia for the state-owned enterprise, which they are going to do, to build on Blackwell. So you may be thinking I'm looking at my phone, I'm looking at pictures of my wife and the fruit that she sent me from Paris. No, I'm talking about Indonesia AI Day, which you're not talking about because you're busy, I don't know, talking to Ben Affleck. How's he doing? What was his latest move? Are you talking about the town? This is what I talk about.
He's doing really well. Town was a great movie. He's making another one right now, filming in Bayonne, New Jersey. Yeah, no, it sounded like a very interesting project. He was wearing a beard for it. Ben sends his best. Yeah, he's doing very well.
You're right.
So thank you for asking.
When I hear Jensen say artificial intelligence will democratize technology, it is the great equalizer, what I really should be thinking about the movie The Accountant, which I really loved, which, by the way, had Bernthal.
Bernthal, your favorite. But listen, in all seriousness, are they running out of data? Video, you've made this point many times, represents another real opportunity to capture a lot more data. But the large language models, it bears watching. I ran into your friend yesterday. Reitzes, Ben Reitzes, I think. You love his work, right? Melius, right?
Melius, he's my friend. Yeah. He wanted to know why I wasn't at your thing.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted to know why you weren't at our thing. It was CNBC's delivering alpha, Jim, not mine.
I wasn't that's kind of inside baseball, David. We tend not to go there. But I will say, David,
what do you mean? I wish you'd been there. Everybody was asking me where you were. Well, that's all I got. Where's Jim?
Well,
Where's
you
Jim?
can be two places at once with AI. David, I do think that we have to focus on the fact that they may not have enough to train on. Go back to what Zuckerberg said on his conference call, that Meta AI would be the #1, and that's because he's got things to train on. He's got more than 3.5 billion people. He can look at their stuff. And by the way, can I just tell you, when you Google, when you try to get from Claude or from ChatGPT, an instant analysis of somebody that just of Disney and Iger, forget about it. They'll tell you, well, you know what? I had one yesterday which said they don't report till November 17th, and I was like looking at the conference call. They're wrong too much. They're wrong too much. So they need to get right.
I know.
They don't even have the latest and greatest. They don't have Rubin. You need Rubin.
No. They need Rubin. They do. I keep saying that all the time. Where is Rubin when you need him?
They need Zingermans. No, I mean, look, David, you got to follow this charm offensive of Jensen, country after country. It's remarkable.
Podcast after podcast after podcast. He's everywhere all at once. Maybe he is an avatar as well. Similar to what Andrew Sorkin and I did yesterday for Delivering Alpha, where we had previously created our own avatars as well, and then we kind of presented them. Take a listen.
Hi, it's me, Andrew.
And I'm David. But don't call me Dave.
Good point. And never ever call me Andy.
Point taken.
So, this is us. Now avatars. Artificial intelligence. AI me is almost as good as Squawkbox me.
But let's be honest. Squawkbox you isn't nearly as good as Squawkbox me. Those were the golden years of Squawk.
David, even your avatar is cutthroat.
Those were completely computer generated. That was, we did go to and have our voice and our head movements and our images shot, but that wasn't us. That wasn't video. And that's the future, guys. Or in fact, that's the present. You can see it's still not quite capturing every emotion, human emotion, sort of in the way you inflect and the way you speak, but it's getting awfully close.
Well, but David, let's say you ran a dictatorship, I don't know, like 1.4 billion people, I mean, just like throwing it out there, and you wanted to be able to put people in prison. Well, couldn't you just generate them saying something against whatever government there might be, and then you say, hey, listen, I'm sorry, and throw away the key? I mean, can't you do that?
I hadn't thought of that, Jim, but that's scary. But yes, conceivably.
I think we're actually in really early innings of the artificial intelligence world and the paradigm in terms of both investment and in effect. We will, over the course of time, see the productivity increases and the benefits. Right now, we're really at the very early parts of investment. And that's still all the build out, whether we talk about infrastructure build out for data centers or power that's going to be needed to power artificial intelligence efforts. CapEx is in its early days. And I think this has got a long multi-year, certainly even multi-decade potential in terms of its impact on productivity and investment. So I don't think we're anywhere near getting topped out on the investment.
Those comments come after a number of recent reports do question whether or not we're getting into some plateauing in the power of generative AI from the likes of OpenAI and Google and Anthropic. Although Sam Altman did tweet a few hours ago, quote, "There is no wall." That's all he said. And we can only guess at what he was referring to, but this may well be it.
Right, that the innovation is full speed ahead.